there's recorded.
Oh.
All right. We're rolling, guys.
I'm Carolyn Lewis, the co-chairman of the Athens City Commission on Disabilities Education and Outreach Committee. We meet monthly. This is our monthly meeting. We meet the second Tuesday of every month at 5 o'clock. We don't have a quorum today, but on the Zoom are Barry Dilley and J.W. Smith. And the others, I'm not quite sure. Maybe there's some conflict in their schedules, but we can discuss, but we can't actually transact any business today. And we'll also approve the next minutes, last month's minutes at our next meeting.
Well, I would move those.
Pardon?
I would move those minutes.
We can't until the next meeting.
Oh, I thought you said we would. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we'll have to wait until July to approve May and of course June. That's all right.
More miscommunication.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Dr. Lewis and Barry? All right for the summertime?
I'm doing pretty well. My manuscript is with Gina.
Nice. Good job.
And I signed up for the book festival. You saw that, right?
Good.
Okay.
We get tables close together. That'd be nice.
Yes, we'll be there.
Yeah, good.
And I'm finishing up on some things I need to do, the contract and, tax stuff and all of that, and a few little details about making sure I've got the copyrights on some things and the permissions.
Now, which book is this?
This is Love and Loss, The Storied Nature of Nursing Home Care.
Okay, because you got two others working too, right?
I do, Mama Thelma, and
Lord.
I've got several others.
Wow.
But this one's
coming up first.
Going forth. This is coming up. Nice. She said it should be ready by October, JW.
Wonderful. Yeah. Timely, too. Right. Nice.
Very timely.
Beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. So thank you for putting me in touch with Gina. She's wonderful.
It's good to have open doors, I tell you.
Yeah, she's great.
I'm trying to think who put me in contact. Somebody put me in contact with her, so that's how it starts.
Mm-hmm. Very understanding, very patient.
Yeah, good person.
That helps.
Really
and local. Yeah. I mean, really local.
And local. Yes, I love that.
You can order 5 books or 500 books. You'll get them done.
Mm-hmm. Well, Barry, how are you doing? Let's ask you.
Yes, please. That was next. Yeah, Barry. Still packing up, or?
I'm doing okay. I had a couple of days, a day ago, that I didn't feel well, but that's that vertigo stuff I get. Otherwise, I'm okay. I'm trying to go through library and pack up stuff, and somebody helped me down in the basement looking at things. I'm going to be moving to Albuquerque sometime. PW.
Nice. Yeah.
Not immediately, because all the housing out there is in a bidding war, so I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But that's what's happening. And I've been working with Luke about our Athena Award.
Good.
And it's going really well.
Good.
He's got 6 awards in being made in ceramics, and they're in the leather, I forget the expression, but you first made them, then it has to get to a certain degree of hardness before you can refine them. And then you refine them, then they go to the kiln for bisquing, and then you do whatever you do with them next, putting glazes on, and then they come out again. So they're in the works, and I think it's going to be beautiful.
Nice. Well, if it passed your test, I'm excited. Oh my gosh, I want to hold this one in my hand.
Well, let me see if I can describe it. It's still a hawk or an eagle.
Right.
Not an eagle, an owl. But it doesn't look like owl,
Right.
The wings are spread up and around, so it makes a frame for the head. And the head is very subtly a bird, but you wouldn't necessarily know so much. But it looks like the bird is flying, but they're all the way up, as if he's, lifted his wings before he's pushed them back down again. And the one side of the wing is going to be really polished, very flat, and the other side has a texture like feathers. And it's going to be the ceramic part's going to be about 9 or so inches and close to 9 inches wide, wouldn't you, Carolyn?
I would say so.
And it looks, if you look at it from the side, it looks like it's like a Mobius strip. Have you ever felt one of those, JW?
No.
It's like a continual movement of something that it never stops, and it keeps having this curving feel to it. And that's what it looks like from the side. It's long and skinny, but there is this feeling of constant movement in it. So it could be like flying. And there's also a sense of strength and a sense of composure and care, I would say. What else would you say, Carolyn?
Well, after the various versions that we went through and that I saw, when I saw that one, it took my breath away.
Oh.
I just had to pause and say, is this where we are now? I mean, it seems to be so. Barry got him there so quick after those several versions that
I sent an email. Stop.
Yeah, stop right there. But it's different. It's sort of abstract, but you can see what it is. And there's all I can say is it's different than what we had anticipated.
And I knew what I wanted to feel like, but I had no idea what it would look like.
Right.
And so he would do one, and I'm going, no, that doesn't. And I had to remember to keep telling him, that's a beautiful piece, but it's not what we're looking for. It took me a while to learn that one. He did another one that really looks like a mother and child, still quite abstract, too small for my feeling, but I told him, I said, it's beautiful, not what we want, but make it for someone else, So he's been working on it. And every time we talked together, he'd go home and he'd be frustrated and he'd take it out on the clay and out would come the new thing. Yeah. So I've seen now, he sent me a picture of the 6 awards in process. And it feels so good just to see them. And he said he could do them like he would throw on the wheel. He'd be making mugs. So he would make this one with the same kind of feeling of the gestures and how he would do it. And so I saw him the other day and I asked him, okay, what's next? And he said, well, it's getting to that stage. It has to get dry enough so the wings won't fall down.
Right.
And they can hold their own weight. And then he'll add some of the feather textures and smooth it out and stuff. Then we have to decide, once it's fired halfway, whether to glaze it or not, and what color glaze. And I've only seen, he showed me one glaze on a cup, and I thought it was really pretty, but I thought, no, that's not the right color. But again, I don't know in my mind what color yet, So that's where we are right now. And I hope he'll show me a bunch of other possible glazes. At first, I was thinking of having it be without a glaze at all. But then maybe it would be nice to have some of the glaze, particularly on the feathers, so that it'd bring up the textures. I don't know. But that's where it's at so far.
I think so, too. The first time I saw this version, it looked like it had a particular sheen to it. I don't know, on the side.
Yeah.
And it was just gorgeous, really beautifully done.
There's a way of using clay where you can kind of polish it before it's ever fired. So you get that sheen to it. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. But he's struggling with it. He loves his work and he's struggling with it. And I said at one point to him, I said, I hope as you start working on the individual ones, then thinking of this, they're all similar, but each one has its own character. And he said, yeah. So he would do that. So it's been a wonderful thing for me because I used to work in ceramics a little bit. I loved it, but I haven't done it in a long time. So it's been fun kind of playing around with him and inspiring him and then me getting inspired and all of that.
JW, you in the office now, or you?
No, I'm at my house. I'm in my office, house office, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking it certainly would be nice if you can get a feel of what it's like now, because I don't know if you felt other ones before that he was working on?
I felt the first one.
Okay.
When I showed him the old one, and he brought the first thought.
Okay.
So I haven't seen anything since.
Right. Maybe at some point you can connect with him and
absolutely.
A little bit down the road and see, so you can get a sense of what it's like. I think you'll like it.
Absolutely.
Probably not until it's fired, because it's iffy carrying him around.
Right. That's fine.
Half fired, the bisque firing, then he might be able to.
But it sounds like you guys are making great progress, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't know what you know. He's having a really, really hard time, JW, because his grandmother died recently. He's having all the problems around that, and his housing and inheriting the house or not. And so he's doing this work, but also having a very, very difficult time in his life right now.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. That's tough.
So we can ask you, Jay. Oh, go ahead, JW.
Just want to tell you, now that's great progress, but the library is not doing any public meetings. So I can just tell you that we can nix that idea. They're not going to do anything until kids are vaccinated. So he has no idea when they'll let people back in like that. So nix that idea, Mike.
Okay, well, we will. We'll take that off the agenda. In fact, I forgot to put on there, and when I was talking to Cheryl earlier.
I was going to just update you. I was like, no, they don't have any idea when they'll. Could be next week, could be 3 months.
What about the community center?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
What do you think, Carolyn?
Yeah.
For what now?
Somewhat, because they
like some public invitation for potential applicants. Yeah, that's a good idea. Can you use that free of charge, or do you have to have a?
It can be free of charge if you're a city government.
Okay, maybe we're checking out.
So I missed it. What are we talking about using the community center for?
Thinking about, remember I was saying the idea for the library was to have a public gathering for potential applicants. Can you hear me?
Exactly, I can now. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And to let people know that the commission exists.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's so many people that still don't know we exist at all.
Yeah.
So in addition to us going to them, they can come to us too.
I want to argue with you about that. Yes, there may be, but we have beaten our fingers to the bones trying to make sure if they don't read the paper, if they don't listen to the radio, we've done things.
I agree.
And JW's gone. We've gone to all these civic clubs.
Oh, I know that. I know the problem.
Front page coverage. If they don't listen and read, there's not much we can do. I mean, there really isn't. They just have to. So if they don't see the front page newspaper where Patty Mitchell is on there for the Athena Award, I hear JW and I on the radio talking about, and on WUB, we've covered just about every angle. So I know that there are some people, but it's not our fault. It really isn't.
Oh, no, it's not fault at all.
Yeah.
One of the ways I would guess is almost like going to medical facilities where, doctor's offices, people like that may be interested. We just lost Carolyn. Carolyn, are you there?
I'm here, but it's something happened with my phone. Yeah, I'm going to get it back. Just keep going. I'll get it back.
Okay. I mean, we've done a whole lot. It's just the next level, maybe, of contacting builders and architects and people like that, be more aware of the needs of accessible stuff. I don't know, but getting more people engaged. I did talk to the man who started the Veterans Coffee Shop down near Passion Works. And he was reluctant to get involved with anything more, but he said he would check it out. So he may, or get somebody else to.
Call from 0888522.
Well, the nature of this beast is that unfortunately people don't discover us until they feel they need us. That's
You're absolutely
the problem.
right.
Or a family member. So that's what happens.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right. So
the same thing about CIL. Nobody knows CILs are there.
That's right.
And somebody have a problem, and then somebody says,
right.
oh, you know about this.
That's right.
So,
yep.
So all we can do is get constantly getting the word out and
over and over. Just keep repeating.
Yeah.
You got it.
Carolyn, we're talking about where to keep the information and the history and all of that. I have the posters that you gave me to hold on to. Remember?
I don't know if she can hear us or not.
I have those posters, and then when I move out of town, I wanted to leave behind the award I got from the state for the start of the commission. So I wanted that to be part of that history. But have we talked to the mayor's office if they want to hold all that stuff? We can't hear Carolyn.
I don't think she can hear us. We can't hear her, I know. I don't know if she can hear us. So.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm having a time today. I'm sorry. But I'll talk to the mayor's office and see if they will hold that for us. Because we need a central place, not our homes.
Right. No.
It could be there or the library, if they would too, the public library somewhere.
Right. Got to be a public place.
Yeah, they may have something like that, but we'd have to find out where people would like it to be. But I was cleaning up my desk and I found the two posters. That's what made me thinking about it more.
Yeah, you've got the banner and then the one that we put on the podium, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, hopefully we'll use those this year. We still have the Arts West reserved, and now that they're open, and we could indeed have the Athena Award ceremony there this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, what I was just thinking of that is where would it be a good place to have the history? And if it's something that people would want to have access to, to things or anything or information, it would be good to have something like in the library, but I don't know how they do that. Almost like a file, like you go in the catalogs and looking for information on local disability stuff, something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's something to check into and see if they would, because it might be a good place for history, and that some of our records, like our minutes and all of that, could be with the mayor's office, but then our history could certainly be with the library, which would be good.
Yeah, because that way they could, they would have more records of what's available in town and maybe begin to have a little bit more things. So if somebody called and said, I've just moved to town and I have this disability and I don't know what to do, they could look up in the file and go, here we are.
Right.
Something like that. And now I'm just talking off the top of my head, thinking about it more than I thought about. Carolyn's used to me doing that.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. But my question now is, when ideas come up, who will do what by when? Because I'm not raising my hand.
Right.
Yeah, who will do what by when?
Well, some of that, the library would probably work on. If we just started handing stuff, or agencies. Even having a place where brochures and stuff are that would all kept together in one place, so that if I were interested, if I moved to town with a disability or somebody, I could go to the library and look through their files and go, okay, here's a brochure from Beacon School. Here's a brochure from Noriko's group, all at one place, because we don't have anything like that.
Right. That's true.
So,
well, Barry, maybe you can check on the library and see if that's something that would hold for us. And then
I'll ask my friend Bernard.
Okay, and then the next thing would be gathering all of that and putting it into some kind of organized fashion so that it could be easily cataloged.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's a word.
Right.
I'll ask Bernard because, and I know Heather too a little bit.
Okay.
So we'll see what we can do, but that might be a really good place to keep all that stuff together. And that'd be where somebody might go if they wanted to know it was around.
Right.
And they might be able to digitize some of it for us. Who knows?
Yeah. Good point.
We might be able to do that, or even maybe a volunteer or something if we could find one.
Yeah. Bernard, Carolyn?
I don't think I do.
He used to hate me describing him as a big black man working at the library. But I said, Bernard, You're the only Black man working at the library. So if I could see you, the nice fellow behind the desk that's friendly, you know, so we had to work that one out. But he's a really good guy, Renard Phillips.
Yeah. The name sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever met him. He
used to work for the university and lost his job in a not nice fashion years ago.
Okay.
And he wound up working for the library. But he lives up behind me, and when he goes to the farmer's market, he runs errands for me.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
I'll talk to him, and if it's not his job, he might have an idea of somebody who could do it.
Let me tell you both something. JW, you might know this, but we might want to spread the word to others who might be shut in or have a disability.
Right.
If you go on the Kroger app, of course, order what you want and coordinate that time with Athens On Demand, they will pick up your groceries and bring them to you.
I've heard that. That's right.
I've used it. It's wonderful. I go on and I look at a time that's available for Kroger. I call Athens On Demand and say, can you at this time?
Yes.
And then it's funny, you know, before I had to come to the Laurels, I bought a bunch of tickets and they still have like 30 tickets of mine over there.
Right.
So I don't even have to pay anything. They just snap off a ticket and I place my order and they get it here. And Kroger's been great, getting exactly what I want. I've never been disappointed so far.
Oh, good. No tempting either.
Huh?
No tempting.
Yes.
When I go to the grocery store, I go in for 3 things and come out with baskets full.
Yes. I'm going to say if you go in with 3 things and come out with 3, that's pretty good. Not me.
Athens On Demand will take your clothes to the laundromat too and pick them up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, what a service.
They've done that for several people.
Didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah. They'll come pick them up and go pick them up for you.
You think this is going to continue after COVID? I wonder.
I don't know, but they're doing it now.
Because that's, you know, they were always having too much to do already.
Let's hope so. It's a great service.
It is.
Are they expanding their hours?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so after things go, because like Carolyn, you've talked about their hours are limited and you couldn't get to some places that you'd like to.
Yeah, but then they started, remember, they didn't do Saturdays, but they started that
now
again.
They start half a day Saturday. Yeah, at least it gets.
Yeah, they've gone back. They had expanded more before COVID started, so they've expanded a little bit.
Right.
Oh, good.
Well, JW, we didn't ask you how you were doing.
You know, I'm doing great. I went to Chicago this past weekend. I spoke at my friend's church. I usually do on Easter, and man, I had a wonderful time. Flights were on time, and weather was beautiful. Oh, it was wonderful.
Big city too, huh?
Oh, that's my hometown, so I loved it. It was awesome.
And starting Sunday, you're going to do the devotions on WATH.
Yeah, I recorded.
And then Monday through Friday.
Live. And then I recorded my week last week. Yes.
Right. Okay. Good.
Yeah. These will be different. They'll be unique. I think you'll like these. These are very different. Very different.
Right. I'll be waiting.
Shook it up a bit.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to talk about? We can't vote on anything, but we can certainly.
I think let's see. Yeah, I think we hit it all. I think, from my perspective.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ryan and Scott and Barry and JW. You have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to go outside and get some sun.
Yeah, do it. Watch that humidity.
Good idea.
Watch that humidity.
And Carolyn, you're going to have a girl talk so I hear the story.
Oh, yes. Call her.
Okay.
Well, call each other.
I can tell you. JW will love hearing this. So, you know how many Zooms I have on committees and different things.
Right.
So I kind of got tired of working with the hair. So I looked on Amazon and said, let me find out if I can find a nice curly wig. And so here I'm disclosing everything. Barry, it's not mine. It's between you and Amazon.
Nice.
It's amazing because you'd never know.
Nice.
JW, you would love it. You would love it. It's got some things in it. And Karen came out and styled it for me.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's curly. It's kind of auburn brownish with some little streaks in it. So
Nice.
I'm getting ready for the summer. What'd you say, Barry?
A good color for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, that was our girl talk. I wasn't going to disclose to the world. I just disclosed to the world.
Well, you look wonderful. And I'm sure with being in and all that, you know, and not being able to get out and have your hair done or anything, this makes it a really good solution.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
You look lovely.
Yes, you do.
The shop here has been closed, so we couldn't get our hair done. So I thought I've got to find an alternative route here. So, yeah.
Well, go outside and have a lovely afternoon.